wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're back at it again, bringing you another episode, wondering what is going on. Bitcoin has dropped. So many people have been liquidated. PulseChain prices are dropping as well. Are you taking advantage of this opportunity that's in front of you? We're diving into all that and more and checking out a little bit of news as well in today's video. Today is April 2nd, 2024. So I hope all of y'all, as always, are having a fantastic day, folks. We actually have Bitcoin dropping all the way down to $65,676 at this point in time as of this moment in recording. And even today, it's already dropped as low as $64,457. So people have been absolutely liquidated overall in the last few hours, days, weeks, months, just in terms of Bitcoin's volatility, because sucker's been bouncing anywhere between 60,000 onwards to, 50 or 70,000 and playing all within that range for a little bit of time, absolutely decimating so many people, reminding you why you don't want to be messing with margin trading, folks. Do not take on that additional leverage. There are three ways that you get wrecked in crypto primarily. That is liquor, ladies, and leverage. As you already know, the 3 L's is typically how you end up losing it all. So whenever we actually take a look over here at the Bitcoin price, we actually see Bitcoin currently sitting at $65,681 at this point in time. Again, this is on the daily chart. We did go over this yesterday, but Bitcoin just finished doing something it had never done before in the history of Bitcoin. And folks, I'll bring it up again because I think this is absolutely fascinating, but it has actually finished 7 months consecutively in a row of green candles. Now, what happened immediately after that? We get a red candle happening right now as of the beginning of April. Now, again, this is literally the beginning of April, folks. It is April 2nd right now. So still plenty of room ahead in order to actually check all of this out. But whenever we actually see all of these prices and what's going on as well, quite fascinating to see what's going on. So we actually drew this chart out a little bit ago using a little bit of good old analysis and also this next pivot indicator to kind of give us an indication as which direction it might be going. And you can see it actually drew a line going up to 71,000 close to, and it's actually showing that it could potentially be dropping back down to 55,000. Now that would absolutely wreck so many people. So many people have already been wrecked on this particular trade as well. Just in the last 24 hours alone on these particular charts, Bitcoin has 151 million people have been liquidated. Again, in the last 24 hours in crypto and in all for what we track, or what CoinGlass tracks, should I say, there's been 456 million people who have been liquidated on this chart. Not this chart, but just in the crypto game itself. That is wild, y'all. So many people went long. The market took a correction because Bitcoin actually dropped in price. And because Bitcoin is pretty much the leading crypto indicator as to what's going on with the overall market, you can see over here on the side, the whole market is red. Literally every single token over here is red. Now, again, we can actually pull up the overall charts and see that for the most part, damn near everything is red at this point in time. As a matter of fact, let me actually see if I can pull up a little heat map. I haven't pulled up a heat map in a little bit. So let me see if I can pull up a little heat map real quick for this particular chart. See what's going on in the last day as well. And you can see it's red, folks. There's blood in the streets everywhere at this point in time. So literally, no matter how far that you zoom down, you just see a big old chart of red, a big old chart of red, and a big old chart of red. And of course, with all that, a lot of people are getting absolutely decimated because they thought we're entering the bull market. We're entering the Bitcoin halving month. We just had 7 months in a row consecutively in a row with green candles. So why would it stop now, right? That's what everyone always starts thinking. What would be the difference and why would it stop now? Well, the market likes to humble some people, and of course, it likes to make sure that you are set in your way to make sure that unfortunately, it is going to treat what it is going to treat, and that is exactly what's going on right now. So, as of today, so far, Bitcoin has dropped 5.5%. We have Ethereum dropping 6.5%. And the overall crypto market itself, for the total crypto market cap, again, this is including everything. Again, not I don't want to say everything, neither here nor there. I don't want to get technical on this, but the whole total market cap of crypto is sitting at a negative 5.3, excluding Bitcoin still negative 5, and excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin still negative 4. Excluding the top 10 tokens, we're sitting at negative 5.85 right now for the overall day on how it's been going. So quite a bit of red, as you can see with the overall chart showing everything right here. Pretty crazy stuff. Even in the last week, you can see it's pretty much a red week overall. Yes, we had some bullish momentum. If you actually pull this up over the monthly, you can start seeing the green candles, the Christmas trees start coming back out again as well. And even if you end up going into the last 3 months, it's been a pretty good solid last 3 months in terms of crypto. But over the last week to last day, again, you can see things are flipping awfully freaking bull or bearish on this one, and it's wrecking so many people, which is why when you look at the liquidation chart right here, 456 million people getting liquidated just in the last 24 hours. And when you actually check it out on the overall chart as well for this liquidation map, you can see many people are still going short on Bitcoin now, which, guys, I wouldn't play the leverage game. I've said this in the past. It is a fast way to get yourself absolutely wrecked. Bitcoin has done these 5 to 10% moves in days before, so just keep that in mind. You can see this go from 65,000 right now all the way up to 71,000 within the span of one day, and even dropping down on the lower echelon of that and dropping down into the 60,000. But look how many people went long on Bitcoin over here and have just gotten absolutely smoked on this as the price has actually continued to drop. And even right now, there's still roughly about $672 million at this point in time available to get liquidated on the long, and roughly about $1.05 billion to get liquidated on the short side, just with Bitcoin alone. When you actually start pulling up the other tokens, you can see a lot of stuff is happening overall, folks. A lot of stuff is going on. Again, even on the Ethereum side, when you look at this particular chart, several people have thought that again we're going on to the 4,000. We're breaking new all-time highs. I don't think we've really gotten close to breaking the all-time high with Ethereum yet. Looking at this particular chart, yeah, I mean, it got pretty damn close. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty damn close one right here. Again, the previous all-time high, I believe, was $4,400. Yep, right over here. Oh, $4,800. So I actually had this little drawn out right, y'all. Yeah, so previous all-time high was roughly around that $4,800 mark, and again, I would say it got fairly close, right? It got within $800 range or $700 range on this one. But again, it is still within that 786 retracement right now, and now it's actually going back down and testing out the 618, falling below the 618 retracement on the fib pull that we actually ended up doing. Last time it did this, it had a very quick recovery actually on this one. I don't think we're going to get that same quick recovery anymore at this point in time. I think a lot of the people are kind of now waiting for the next little buy the rumor, sell the news event. We have the halving coming up in roughly about 18 days, but over the last several months as well, we've had a pretty remarkable run. So with that said, like, it kind of leads me to believe that this is due for a pullback, y'all. I know it is shocking so many people, and it's gonna wreck even more people, especially if you're brand new to the game of crypto. Get ready for the wild ride of your life, because this is one of those things that it is volatile, folks. While you get the highest appreciating asset and you will make more money faster than you've ever made in your entire life, it also fluctuates to the downside just as quickly as well. And typically, when it goes down, it usually goes down for longer than it goes up. Neither here nor there, though. Checking out the extreme greed side over here for the for the fear and greed indicator. One of the things that we look at is two different indicators. So this one's actually showing that we're just in regular greed right now at this point in time. Whenever I look at the other indicator, which was right over, where did it go? Where is it at? Sorry, y'all. There it is. Cool. This one's actually still showing extreme greed right now. So again, we are still in the extreme greed phase with this particular indicator for coin stats. Again, whenever I look at the greed indicator over here on coin glass, or on the fear and greed indicator over here on Coin Glass, it is showing we are in greed right now. They have extreme greed at 80, just by the way, so it's still showing the same number. It's just slightly different. One thing I do want you to pay attention to is notice how long we tend to stay in these ranges for. So extreme greed is a very short-lived period of time, folks, and that is why when you do see it in the extreme greed phase, it is a time to be very cautious, okay? It is a time to possibly take some profits off to the table if you've actually been able to make some profits at that point in time, or just be ready for that pullback because again, maybe you're new to crypto, maybe this is your first time getting into maybe an asset, buying onto the rally because of FOMO. We've all been there before, right? We've all been in a situation where you say, "Man, I got to get in." But understand that most of the time it actually likes to stay here in either the fear, the neutral, or even the greed. This is primarily where it likes to live. It's very rarely that we get into extreme fear. It's been a while since I believe we've actually noticed some extreme fear at this point in time. But for the most part, on the extreme greed, you'll notice it is the shortest period of time for a reason. That is the point in time where a lot of people are, again, going to start taking profits. It's that euphoric feeling. It's when everyone's saying, "We're going to the moon," right? "We're going to the moon." Everyone has heard that before. At that point in time, that is a time to be fearful when others are greedy. And then guess what? On the flip side of that, be greedy when others are fearful. So as the prices are dropping down, like for instance on PulseChain right now, that is the time to be nice and greedy. Now, of course, we're going to go in and check out the PulseChain chart in here in just a second, but I do want to give a shout out to the Patreon sponsors. I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to Debbie Phillips, ES Sports, Claudia Schwartz, Sir Toasty, Joel Lawrence, Joe Blow Crypto, Hector Reyes, Bureau Attila, Sean, Rep Bussy, Robbie Tears, Atlantean, Jonathan, Oyston Larson, Eric Johannesson, Prospector, Darren, Patrick, Joxy Boons, Larry Eats Plants, Sovereign Man, Crypto CPT, Moonmutt, Benny Davis, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, Rudburn 222, Christopher Davis, Lacey, Heximus, Pulseximus, Arzella Barnes, SoFlow Life, Lord Jamie, Mark, Chris Bugatti, Secret Crypto 21M, Hex Stevens, Lucky Taylor, NatNat369, L James, David Morgan, Fly Flea, Alan Fizame. All right, appreciate every single one of y'all as well. So again, diving into PulseChain over here, we actually have the price dropping below SAC price at this point in time. Last time I did this, it actually didn't last long. It actually had a, I'd say, pretty fast recovery, and we're going to check out the charts here in just a second. But the current price of PulseChain sitting at 40967. Current price of PulseX 40379. Current price of the incentive token $4.79. Current price of Hex is 20972. Current price of Hex on Ethereum 2019, with the ratio staying at that 1-to-5 ratio as we've discussed. Seems to be staying pretty steady at that 1-to-5 ratio, but neither here nor there. Definitely just something to be paying attention to. When you actually look at PulseX on the actual chart, you can see we did fall below this bullish trend that we've actually drawn out. We were trying to push above it. This is kind of that candle. Usually when you see a candle wick on both sides, it kind of is one of those, the market really doesn't know what to do. And at this point in time, it tried to push back up here. You can see the candle wick on the bottom. It actually pushed back down. The market tried to push back up again, push back down. And at this point in time, we don't really know which way the market's trying to go. We did get some recovery on this one. In fact, this was a pretty decent drop if you're able to take advantage of some of that pricing opportunity, if you had the ability to have that dry capital ready to deploy. Which, by the way, how do you have dry capital ready to deploy? Well, folks, you take profits on the way up. So if you're buying all the way back over here and your average price is all the way over here, and at this point in time, you see a nice little 2, 3, 4x gain over here. This is a nice little 4x gain. Maybe it's time to take a little bit of profits off the table, y'all. I'm not saying sell your whole positions. I don't advise the whole trading mindset, but if you do have the ability to take some profits off the table, you can use that capital to reallocate it back into the dip whenever it should present itself, because now at this point in time, we now have a dip roughly around 30 to 40%, which is where I actually start reallocating some capital at this point in time for any profits that I have taken. So I have taken profits here, I have taken profits here, and again, I'm reallocating that capital back on this dip at this point in time. I do share this strategy with all the Patreon members as well. For anyone who wants to dive in on more details on that, we definitely go into that on weekly calls, so you're welcome to join on in. And I do let everyone know when I'm buying, when I'm selling, and all that good stuff as well. If it's something to do, again, not a financial advisor, just keeping everyone in the loop as to what I'm doing whenever I'm doing it, right? So at this point in time on the fib extension drop down, we have it retouching at this 0.5 level. Now, if it does want to continue to drop, which by the way, when I look at the 915 EMA, it does look still bearish. The stock RSI, which is a stochastic RSI, is looking to try to flip bullish, but we still are in an oversold territory. We've been here in the past where we see it flip over here, it still stays down here. We've also seen this happen where it flips over here, gets a quick little recovery, and then bounces back down. So it's just a matter of how long does it want to remain down here. If it does want to remain down here for longer, just get ready for the price to possibly dip down. The next level I would be the 40285. That would be a pretty crazy level, not gonna lie, at that point, just because you end up getting pretty much into the last resistance, right into that last rally when the price started pumping, before you end up going back down into the lower ranges or the all-time low ranges, right? So at this point in time, these are the lower ranges over here, which if you get the opportunity to buy at these levels, congratulations, because if you are thinking in the future and you do have a long-term mindset, well, you're going to be able to take a massive advantage of it as well. And folks, I'll get to the questions here in a second, so feel free to ask the questions in the chat. We'll dive through the questions and then actually do a quick little news recap at the end as well, to anyone wondering what the next agenda is on this meeting or video or stream. We have the price of Hex sitting at 209721. Again, we are still within this bullish wedge that we've been kind of forming all the way back since August, and we've just kind of been here. I said that we would most likely play in this little range, and it seems to be playing in this range. So we're going to see how it's all going to end up playing out. If it does remain in this range, that is still bullish in my opinion. I know these prices to some people are affecting them mentally. So if that is the case, maybe you are either overly invested or you aren't doing a good DCA strategy. I am seeing the 50 almost cross into the 200 range, which by the way, folks, that is a bearish indicator. When the 50 EMA crosses below the 200 EMA at that point in time, that is typically a bearish movement as well. So I am paying attention to that to see what's going on there, because we've already fallen below the 200 EMA average at that point. Next level that we're going to be looking at, if it wants to drop down, should be in this range or region, which would be 2085 at this point in time for that range. The stock RSI is trying to flip on this bullish side and get out of the oversold territory. So it's just a matter of which one does it want to do first. If it does want to play in here, I could see it recovering even all the way back up to 1.6 cents and playing all within this range and just bouncing until it decides which way it wants to go, whether it's up or down. And we're going to be keeping an eye on that as well. Stay tuned to all the videos if it's something that you are wanting to try to make sure that you are taking advantage of it all. That just passed almost a last level of support at this point. It's almost falling a little bit below it at this point in time. If we actually extend this out, you can see we are playing in that last little level of support in this range at this point in time, should I say. Next range it would actually be falling would basically be right where it touched down into, which again would be the 2087 range. And it can actually fall within even a 2077 range as well, and still be within these support and resistance levels that we've noticed in the past. So just keep that in mind. That's again Hex over there. We have the ink price. Again, I am still bullish on this one. It's still holding true to its nature right now, which at this point in time, as long as it doesn't flip below this $4.18 range, I see it still being mad bullish as well. We talked about this on yesterday's stream, but currently the price on ink is sitting at $4.79. I was actually doing a fun little calculation with the Patreon peeps as well. So let's just say, for example, that you are, let me just pull up like PulseX Farm real quick. So app.pull. All right. All right, cool. So let's just pull up like this chart real fast, right? So when you're in the app.pulsex.com and you're on the actual DEX, you can go into the farms and you can actually start farming this additional liquidity or the additional capital, which in this case, you would be farming the ink token. Make sure if you are participating in this to do this in the V1 pool. At this point in time, they only have V1 farms. So if you are providing liquidity, make sure that you actually come on down here and click get WPLS and PLSX on here to make sure you're in the right pool, because when you do open this up, I just want to give you a heads up. You're going to be presented with two options, V1 and V2. Make sure you're on V1 in order for that to be able to happen. because when you provide liquidity, you provide 2 tokens on both sides. You take those LP tokens and you throw them into the farm. You cannot do that if you have the LP tokens on V2. You you would only earn the fees for providing liquidity. Just FYI. So if you're wondering, or if you're having some issues, maybe farming or setting up a farm or whatever the case may be, most likely is because you're not in V1. So when you're in here, you can actually do a fun little calculation. I was saying, hey, how much would you get based on this? So if you did $2,500, I'll even do 25,000. Heck, I'll do 2,500. We'll just keep it in a reasonable realm, right? So in this situation, you're farming 2,500, meaning you put up $1,250 of Pulse, $1,250 of Pulse X, right? So it's a half and half ratio over here to a total of 2,500. You would earn roughly about 0.25 ink. Okay. So I said, okay, what if fun math over here? I said, what if you ended up, why can't I what? Can't pull the calculator over there? Okay. Apparently I can't pull my calculator on this screen for whatever reason, but I'll just kind of talk it out with you real quick. Give me 1 second. Why can't I do that? It's weird. So anyways, I'll just kind of talk it out with you. So basically if I said, hey, what if you ended up doing it to where you just bought instead $500 worth of ink right now? So essentially what you can do is you just go onto the gopulse.com. You can see the ink price is currently sitting at $4.79. So you do $500 and you divide that by $4.79, giving you an estimate of, or close to, 104 incentive token just on that one purchase alone. So if you're in this farm for the principal and you're in it for the purpose of farming the yield, well, I just want to give you a heads up in this situation. Yes, you would do this. It would be a great pair. You would earn roughly about 0.25 ink per day. Now, how long would it take you to get 0.25 ink earned at this point in time? It would take you roughly about 407 days to get that same amount of incentive token if the yield was to stay the same, which around this 18% yield and all that good stuff. So if your purpose is to get the ink token when the prices are at the prices like they are right now, it might behoove you to actually just go ahead and make a purchase of the ink token if your goal is to actually just earn ink. So what I'm doing for myself is I was able to accumulate my goal through the yield farm and hit my goal on Pulse and hit my goal on Pulse X and hit my goal on Hex and then staking my Hex from there. So I hit multiple goals during the time since PulseChain has been launched, which at this point in time, a little over 10 months now. Now, my goal is to get as many ink as I can. And so I said, how do I do that? What's the best way? And right now, the best way to possibly do that is not only to keep that yield farm going at this point in time. So if you had this 2,500, let it rock and roll, let it do what it does. You can always go in with a little bit riskier plays. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan on this, but if you went into, say, one of the stablecoin, non-stablecoin pairs, it is definitely a more risky play because of impermanent loss. So just make sure that you have a better understanding on all that. If you have any questions on that, I do have a video. Just type in ATX crypto yield farm if you have any questions on that as well. But let's just say you did that same $2,500, but instead you did it with DAI and Pulse. So you did 1250 in DAI, 1250 in Pulse. Well, in this situation, you would earn roughly about 1.3 ink per day. So if I did that same exact calculation over here, and instead of doing the $500 ink purchase, which would give me again 104 ink, I said, what if, or how long would it take me to do that same thing? So I would have to be in this farm for 76 days in order for it to be the same thing as me just doing a purchase of the ink token right now. So just a heads up right there. Now I do hold ink, just a heads up. Again, this isn't one of those things. I'm not trying to like tell you to go buy ink. If you don't want to buy ink, don't buy ink, right? Just make your own decision at the end of the day. I'm just letting you know how it ends up working out. If your goal in this farm is to earn as many ink as you can, sometimes doing a direct purchase can sometimes be a little bit more faster and more efficient, especially while the prices are at the ranges that they are in right now. Again, I do see the ink price going back up to this $26 range. I've already talked about that multiple times. If it does drop below, for example, if it does want to come back down and touch the 618 level, which in if you don't know already, in fib retracement levels, that is very common to do. We actually ended up touching the 618 on the price going up. Again, this is from all-time low or all-time high to all-time low, and then just recent high to local low as well. And so I basically did those two, and I said, hey, at this point in time, the 618 over here puts us around $3.11, and you can see we got plenty of support and resistance or price trading around this price range as well. So I could definitely see that to be a nice level of support if it does want to dip back down. Again, do not YOLO in. That's something that I always can only, suggest. But if you YOLO in right here and the price dips right here, and then you're like, dude, I wish I would have just waited. Well, just a heads up on that. You can DCA in, go with a third over here, a third right here, and then a third right here. And if the price never comes down over here, just understand that's part of the risk that you run when you end up doing that. But it's a lot better, and typically a lot better psychologically as well. Now, you just have to be ready for it either way. Now, we are into an oversold situation still. The price is actually going back down, which means it's leading me to believe that we are most likely going to continue to go down. Looking at the EMA cross as well, the 9 and 15, we actually just crossed back here on the 29th of March. So we actually just crossed on this particular day right here. And, 29th of March right there, going into the downtrend. But usually with ink, what I will say is it likes to flip things pretty fast. So last time it did this, it was right here where it tried to flip bearish, and it was only lasting for the span of 5 days or so, and then it just massively just took off. So again, ink will sometimes surprise people because one, there's not like a massive holder supply over here. I don't think this tells me how many holders are in here at this point in time. Let me actually see if I can pull it up on Dex Tools. 1 second on that. Ink WPLS. And let's just see. So currently there's roughly about 34,000 holders at this point in time on the ink pulse, on the ink price at this point in time. Just a heads up on that one. So in all reality, 34,000 people, really not that many people, y'all. So just a heads up, massive opportunity still ahead. Again, you look at market cap, it's still at 23 million right now for market cap. The way the ink token works is it's 1 ink is created per second at this point in time. You can also see the total market cap. So there is no person holding a massive supply over here. You can actually kind of see it over here if I was to open this up and maybe, zoom on in a little bit more so that way y'all can see. But again, the market cap is sitting at 23 million for the overall ink token. Again, with the total market cap at 23.88 as well, which means there is no person or entity or anybody else holding a massive bag. What's available and what's out there is what's available and what's out there. There's massive liquidity to be had in here. So if you do end up getting mad gains on this one, $41 million in liquidity is absolutely incredible. So you will not notice any impermanent loss when you are coming in. For example, if you did want to come in and make this purchase, whether it's coming in with DAI and doing an ink purchase over here, I do like to turn, yeah, cool. Usually what I recommend is turn on auto router. You'll get a better deal. For the purpose of me streaming, it does do it a little bit faster so I can just pull it up. But let's just say you wanted to come in with $10,000. Again, you can actually come in right here and basically get $10,000 right away. You're going to have some some slippage, I believe roughly about $40, but you would probably make that back up pretty fast with the price just going up, even just 20% or even less than 20%. You would make that $40 back up fairly quickly. So just a heads up to anyone wanting to come in with bigger dollars if they have some cash available. It is available and available to you. Looking at the pulse price, we have the price sitting at 409644. And again, we are currently still testing out this bullish parallel channel that we've been in. We'd love to see us maintain that parallel channel and stay in that range. If it does want to drop back down, we can see that the next level of support or resistance that we will find is most likely going to be 407535. Again, looking at the overall EMA cross as well, we have actually flipped bullish or bearish on this one back on the 16th of March, and the stock RSI is still in an oversold situation. So I share this information to say that there's still a massive opportunity ahead for every single person available and who is here. All right, let's get into a little bit of the comments and see what's going on with some beautiful people who are here chilling with me right now. What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful peeps? All right, well, Jason Smith in the house. Let's get it. Intrepid Pulse X, how you doing? Hey, appreciate the membership on that as well. I'm going to find a way to get actually what I'd like to do. Again, I'm brand new with the membership side on YouTube. So hit me up on Twitter because I'd like to send you over the Telegram for the Patreon people as well. So that way you can get in there. To anyone who is a member on that, I am working on continuing to make it better and better and better and just keeping that as well. I didn't get an alert this time. Oh my jeez. What's up, A-Fam? Appreciate the most recent sub on that as well. What's up, ATX? What's up, fam? Afternoon SoFlo Lights. What's up? What's up? What's up? LOL. Litecoin is green. I didn't even check the actual tokens. When I look at the crypto heat map, I don't actually look at the tokens on there because I don't really care so much on like the actual tokens. But I mean, that is kind of comical, you know. That's how it goes sometimes, right? Whoops. Do. Oh, okay. Oh, Litecoin. Wow. Litecoin's like the only one that's green right now. Oh, jeez. Too funny, man. Too funny. I didn't even see that whenever it first popped up. Oh, Lord of the Ponzi made it to the live. Pulse Nation, LFG, absolutely. Hexkin Lost in Asia. What's up, my friend? Fancy seeing you here. Fancy seeing you as well. Whales coming on next. Hey, check it out. Let's go. Thanks for the shout out. Of course, fam. Much love, my friend. Yo, what's the good word? Jake, breeding. Just chilling, my guy. I only use the sarcastic RSI. Lol. ATX getting his ears lowered shows off the fade. Hey, appreciate that, my friend. Show off the fade. Hey. Yeah, always good. Always good. Quick little trim up. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do it. What's up, ATX? Great stream as always. 5Ps, guys. Of proper preparation preventing poor performance. It's the 5Ps right there. We got the 5P community Patreon as well. It's what we go with. Again, it's the proper preparation prevents poor performance. Make sure you got the 5P set up for yourself. Part of the profit taking strategies, part of the how to buy, part of the DCA strategies, part of the all of the emotional roller coaster that you end up getting into as well. I said that in the RH Max. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I couldn't show you guys my search bar like that. There you go. Of course not. Oh goodness, man. Can you imagine if like yeah, this particular computer is like primarily only for streaming, so I'll just leave it at that. Because yeah. Too funny, man. Besides, you should be in incognito mode for everything all the time anyways when you're actually doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Anyways, evening all. What's up, that body mechanic? How you doing, my friend? I had a goal and I hit it. Stay with it. Yeah, dude, exactly. Stay with it. Speaking of, we've got some Pulse Nation swag as well. PulseNationSwag.com. Go check it out. Quick little shout out to the Pulse Nation swag.
Pulse X, Maxis. A whole lot of Maxis. Pulse Maxis. October has say attack me. Team with your heart if you ask me. I eat the pretzel, I'm nasty. It's still a bad market, I'm winning. I had a goal and I hit it. They only mad at you committed.
Again, if you'd like some of that merch as well, PulseNationSwag.com, or you should be able to see some merch links down below as well. Go check it out. It does ship globally. That was some of the questions that many people were asking. So if you are interested and you are outside of the US, it does in fact ship globally. Now, I'm not saying that it's a guarantee it's going to ship to your remote location if you happen to be in one of the areas that it doesn't ship to. And if that is the case, just send me a message so that way I can keep that in mind going forward in the future. But at this point, it does ship globally. We do have people already ordering to Europe as well. So I can't wait to see y'all with that merch. And again, post it, give a shout out to the Pulse Nation squad as well. I had a goal and I hit it. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Tam Tam? You know I'm the type that don't play with it. Dude, that's such a good song. Really is. Hexkin Lost in Age. Validate the like. Yeah, exactly, guys. It's free to do. Nothing doesn't cost you anything. And it shows much love and much appreciation as well. So we got that body mechanic saying 48 watching, only 14 likes. Weak. Yeah, there's always more because I stream out to Twitter or X and that good old platform as well. So there's, roughly about 200 watching right now. But guys, good. If you're on Twitter, do me a favor, click the YouTube, come on over, click subscribe, come on over, click the like button. It shouldn't cost you any time. Takes about 2 seconds of energy. And again, it is always appreciative as well. I always learn so much from you, ATX. Appreciate that, Tam Tam. And AFAM, yep, giving some love. Lord of the Ponzi, the 5Ps, absolutely. Never mind. My guy. Can we get that big red button that you press with Westcott yelling, "You don't know"? We should be able to do something like that. Why not, right? Next month, I'm buying some Pulse Nation merch, bro. Check it out. Appreciate that, Lord of the Ponzi. Appreciate you. So what we got going on in crypto world, man? What crypto news should I say, I guess, would be a better definition of what my guess is over here. So let me just pull up the crypto news on this stream or this chart. And again, I showed this off last time, but we have the CFTC saying Ethereum is a commodity. during the KuCoin complaint. That was a week ago. So if Ethereum is in fact a commodity, it would just make everything else, especially with PulseChain in particular, it would make that also a commodity. So keep that in mind, which is why some of these things are fun to see. Now, it's not always a necessary thing to check out the news, but it does keep us in the loop. I didn't check out the news yesterday because F April Fools. I really don't care for April Fools, man. You got so many folks who are like, I'm breaking up with my girlfriend. I'm doing this. We're breaking up. I'm quitting my Twitter. I'm closing my YouTube. And it's like, dude, shut up, man. We get it. That's what you say the same thing every year. Like, we get it. We get it. Ethereum dips under 3.4K. Could signal steeper drop. Yeah, maybe. CZ tops crypto billionaires ranking despite legal saga after being fired or quitting or stepping down from the CEO position. That's kind of hilarious. Tether blocks 280,000 linked to a fixed float hack. Analyst explains breach. Ethereum stakers exit Lido for Ether.fi. From Hollywood to HODL. How celebrity adoption is spurring the growth of meme coins. My gosh. Yo, I saw a fun little Coinfessions article, and I don't think I can find it now. But I saw a fun little Coinfessions article, and it was just kind of like, I had WIF, and I bought it when it was $30. I bought $40 worth of WIF, and then I sold it. Let me see if I can find it, man, because that shit actually had me laughing, bro. Because it's how meme coin games work, dude. It's like the way the game works in meme coins. It's no matter what token you hold, that's the one that goes to shit, and then the ones that you don't hold, the ones that you sell, it finally just absolutely wrecks you. So this is actually a fun little article or fun little tweet that I saw from Coinfessions. Usually I do this on Fridays, where we actually go through and check out Coinfessions, but why not check it out now? They said, why is it so hard to just score on a meme coin and finally win, right? Because it is extremely hard, y'all. You don't understand. It's extremely easy to get caught up in the hype, though. So it says, on November 20th, 2023, I bought $40 of WIF, that dog with hat, right? Which are now worth more than $1 million. I sold everything on November 21st for $30. That's meme coin right there, man. That's like that basically sums it up, man. I hate to laugh at that person's pain right there, but like that's truly how it feels like it goes damn near every time. Crypto flash crash is what you need to know. I wouldn't call it a flash crash, but okay, whatever. Maybe it is. Here's why the Pepe correction is not over yet. Will crypto stumble further as Fed rate cut hopes diminish? It's actually better if the Fed don't cut the rate, as a matter of fact. So it would actually be better. Just FYI. Caspa price correction ahead. The flip side of Solana's meme coin mania, a financial hangover from investors. These are all the same little articles. What we got from Blockwork going on right here? Paradigm seeks to raise up to $850 million for new fund, and Bloomberg DOJ moves 30,000 Bitcoin connected to Silk Road siege. I think that's trash, man. Why are they able to get that? Like, I really don't. That's trash, man. They shouldn't be able to touch that. They shouldn't be able to spend it. And in all reality, that should just be fucking taken off or whatever. But they go to a freaking Coinbase wallet and then they sell it themselves. Like, it's trash, man. They take something that was seized that caused so many people to cause financial havoc. And when people go through financial havoc, guys, many things happen where people unalive themselves, for example. Because you can't say the other word nowadays, apparently on YouTube or whatever. That's what the new thing is. Anyways, and then they just go in here and they're like, well, it's 70,000. We're just going to go sell it now. Like, how much money is that? $210 million? 70,000 times 30,000. $2.1 billion. They're just like, we're just going to go take it. Whatever. We got it. It's ours. That's trash, man. Bitcoin Ether kickoff quarter two in the red as halving approaches. Cool. Phoenix. That's a weird way to say Phoenix. That's okay. Partners with Eigenlayer to develop FHE coprocessor. What is a degen chain? The L3 built for the meme coin. Again, I haven't heard this L3 narrative. I heard this the other day whenever I was going through the news. I don't know what a freaking L3 is. What in the F is an L3? I don't know if I want to know what an L3 is, if it's going to be for meme coining. There's no reason to fear open platforms. There's every reason to fear open platforms. What? Don't let wallets be crypto's bottleneck. Solana breaks $200 as meme coin and airdrop interest continue. What will the Bitcoin halving mean for Bitcoin layer 2s? Binance add 3 independent members to its board. Polygon unpacks ZK EVM outage. Ooh, another EVM outage. Guess what's never gone down? PulseChain. Bitcoin miner hut doubles down on diversification discipline around halving. Why Custodia's loss isn't the end of the Fed flight. And who's the better Bitcoin salesman, Larry Fink or Michael Saylor? Dude, Larry Fink all day. Michael Saylor buys tops. He takes out leverage. He like literally will he makes it work, but he takes out so much leverage at the top levels. He didn't do that shit when Bitcoin was 30,000 and 15,000. Like you see Michael say, he wasn't doing that over here. Michael Saylor wasn't, buying the big levels of big. If you look at Michael Saylor's purchases, they're all like when the thing's making new all-time highs or new local highs, I guess I should say. He took out like $700 million or raised even more money when the sucker's already up here. Like you should be doing that when the freaking thing is at 15,000, dummy. So Larry Fink all day is my guess or my opinion. Anyways, that's the news for today, folks. That's what's going on. We got a little update going on. Tomorrow will be Wednesday, my dudes. So get ready for some toads. Get ready for some fun. Other than that, I can't wait to see every single one of y'all in the stream. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb.